Hey, y'all. Hey, welcome back to our first Hey, y'all. Hey radio morning show of 2024. We're so glad you're here with us. I am Alicia from Country Mama Musings.
Good morning, everyone, and Happy New Year. This is Cayce over at Ormsby Farms.
And I'm Monica over here in Texas at Bland's Promised Land Ranch. I hope everyone's doing well this morning. And Miss Ann from Andale Homestead is out at a doctor's appointment this morning, so she is not going to be with us today. And I'm excited. It's been a slow but very nice New Year so far. How have you guys had things going over there? Has it been good?
Oh, it's been fantastic where we are because Papa Jim and I, we're just out gallivanting all over the countryside in our new Christmas present. We got a new car and nothing under the tree this year, just a car and some road maps and an extra dose of enthusiasm and adventureness. We had a great weekend.
Now, a friend, did you end up calling your car the name that you were going to call it that we were talking about on our last little talk and get together?
We named our car Rosie. And that is, we have, let me back up so people understand. We have I thought it was 13 bits, a 2014 Trailblazer, and her name is Gertie because my grandmother was Gertrude. And so we called her Gertie. And we just got the 2024 Trailblazer. And so we named her Rosie. So we have Gertie and Rosie is in honor of Jim's mother, who she's on her transition to go to her heavenly home. And so we named it in honor of her. We're taking her with us on all of our travels. So there she is. Isn't she pretty?
There she is.
She's so pretty. And she drives and rides like a dream. We had all the bells and whistles. It was really nice to have. I mean, our cars are fine, our other modes of transportation. But it's nice to go on a long road trip and know that you've got something that is very, very dependable. So we had a blast. We drove this last weekend until we ran out of road. Literally. We drove until if we would have driven any farther, we would have been in Lake Michigan.
And you always said that y'all do like random, like get up and go kind of thing and you flip a coin. Was this one of those like flip a coin kind of thing on how you turn?
It was, but this time we put a spinny wheel on my phone and we spun for the 8 different directions. So we ended up going northeast.
Oh, it was so much fun.
Right. We were at a center point. We went to our local truck stop and we sat in the parking lot and we spun and it's like, okay, this is the direction we're going. And we just drove. And I'll be putting some travel vlogs out about it because we went to Iowa's smallest church. We found this off-the-path Mexican restaurant that was divine. And we just drove and we found all these neat little things. We stopped and got a lotto ticket. All of our travels, we're going to get lotto scratchers and see if we get anything. We tried some new Mexican candy, some new Mexican food. We drove and drove and drove. And not to give too much away, but like I said, we drove until we ran out of road and we ended up in Kenosha, Wisconsin. And we were a little concerned because of everything that was in the media 3.5 years ago. They had some issues there that are very unfortunate. And we were a little, I don't want to say scared. We were apprehensive. It is the most beautiful little city with the most wonderful people who are proud of their town. What happened does not represent who they are at all. We met so many wonderful people, saw our first lighthouses. I can't say enough about that little town or that little city of Kenosha, Wisconsin. So if you are like me.
Did y'all eat cheese?
Oh, did we eat cheese? We went to a cheese castle. And
I love cheese, so I have to ask. Yeah, castle.
Yes, we went to a cheese castle. And you know how like when you were a kid, you'd go to Burger King and you get the little paper crowns? They had crowns. Jim and I wore crowns.
I saw that short that you put up. I was like, what is friend doing wearing this crown on this short? She had a Burger King.
These little paper crowns.
That is the best.
We found a little house hippo that we adopted. We named him Kino. I'm on the hunt for house hippos. If you don't know what a house hippo is, friends, you need to Google. Just go to YouTube and look for a house hippo. It is a trending thing. I've been looking for a house hippo for about a month. We found our first house hippo, captured it, smuggled it out to the car. It did try to escape, but he did come home with us, and we've named him Kino. That's all I'm going to say. But
Oh my gosh.
I was about to say there's so many like jokes that can be thrown down for a house hippo, but I will. That is one of my New Year's resolutions. Is not just saying.
Until Kino came home, I was the resident house hippo.
Oh, get
Now
out of
we've
here.
got the real hippo, but
Oh,
he's
stop!
just adorable.
Stop!
You know what though? That makes me think though. You just said that. I think it's interesting because we've all had such a we've all had such fun things we've done in our lives this year. But I will say, I think what you've done in the last, 3 months of the year
Right.
has been amazing. And so, today we're going to be talking about our favorite moments from each other's, channels or, socials or whatever. And I think that, what you've accomplished in the last 3 months is something to be spoken about. And I'm excited to be able to share these things today with what our favorite moments from each other's journeys were this year.
Awesome. Well, thank you for that.
So, well, I think, especially since Miss Andale is not here, I think we should all go through and talk about our favorite Andale moments first, because she's had a lot, and we've thoroughly enjoyed having Anne join our little crazy threesome from the podcast and now the morning show. And I think this would be a great way to kind of start it off as our favorite Andale moments from over the year.
Mm-hmm.
So who wants to go first? I'm going to throw under the bus. Who wants to go first?
Alicia, you want to take it away?
I can take it away now. For those who are watching on YouTube, are we pulling up that favorite moment, or am I just discussing the favorite moment?
No, I'm going to be pulling it up, baby.
I'm pulling it up.
I'm pulling it up.
And are you playing it? And then I'm going to talk about it. Am I talking over it? See, we didn't have much time to really talk about this pre-production here. We didn't in our meeting. So
talk about it first, and I can then give time to pull it up.
Okay.
We just spoke about other stuff this morning.
We did. We were totally on. We were on point on we were being responsible. You know, my favorite Andale moment, as I think back of the moments that she provides on social media, of course, all the things that she does with her grandkids is just adorable. But one that really spoke to me personally that I'm taking a lot out of is Miss Ann put out a video about the cough syrup that she makes every year. And I've been seeing this on other platforms about this cough syrup, and I've never made it. I make a cough syrup where I get honey from my local apiist, and I put organic lemon slices in it, and I make that every year. Well, the problem with that is my grandson loves it, and he eats it like it's candy. And then when they need it, they don't have it. But this might be a little bit, I don't want to say it'll be more medicinal, but I think maybe the temptation to eat it like it's candy will be a little less, and then they'll have it when they need it. But Miss Ann has a really great recipe for this cough syrup. And the cough syrup, I don't know if you play it, it's a longer video, but I'll just give a quick synopsis before you play. Ingredients such as red onion, garlic, turmeric, pepper, and then you put that in a local honey. Make sure you get a good local organic honey. And that turns into this cough syrup that, I'm going to say it probably works better, but doesn't look as appetizing as those pretty little circles of lemon floating in the honey, like what I usually give to my kids, and my grandson eats it all. So go ahead, take it away, Cayce. Let's see what we're going to show about Miss Ann. Maybe.
Hello, welcome to Andale Homestead. I'm Ann, and I'm so glad that you're here today. What I thought we might do is make some of my homemade cough syrup. I have done this in the past, but almost everybody I'm talking to has sniffles and coughs, and their chest is congested, and this helps me.
Such a cute intro.
I am not a doctor, but this is how we do things, and I wanted to show you also. I'm making these for Christmas gifts for my grown children to be able to throw in their box of Christmas gifts. Stick with me. That's a better view of being able to see what the items are. Pay no attention to the pot on the side. We're doing a little something else over there. But what I have is red onion that I have roughly sliced, chopped garlic. This is 6 cloves of garlic. It's been sitting out on the counter for about 10 minutes now. And when you leave your garlic out longer, it has a stronger flavor. This is the garlic that we got from our land of plenty. One other clue about garlic: when you're buying it in the store, you see this root that shows that it's still organic. If you go to buy garlic in the store and it's got a little scoop, it's been scooped out there for the root, that means that it was done in shipping. And what they have done is try to keep it from sprouting, as well as spray it with chemicals to keep it fresh. We also have, now this is turmeric. I have a half of a teaspoon of turmeric. I have a 1/4 teaspoon of pepper, because pepper does activate the turmeric. And because ginger is so strong, there's just a 1/4 teaspoon of ginger. When you put all these items in a jar, it's easy. It's dump and go, y'all. And this is a lid that I purchased specifically for being able to close these canning jars, but you can use a mayonnaise lid. It works just as well. So I'm going to put some onions in here, just roughly cut, kind of shake them up a little bit. Then I'm going to put all of the garlic that I have cut up so far. That's 6 cloves of garlic. And yeah, it's kind of strong, but I like the taste of onions and I like the taste of garlic. So what you going to do, right? See if I can get them all in here for you. See if you can see what's happening. Now, this is pepper. I'm going to go ahead and mix it with the turmeric, because pepper does activate turmeric in order to be able to help with your immune system. It helps.
I'm telling you, I just love Miss Andale. She's so cute
Oh,
on how
yeah.
she explains everything. But definitely, we have left the link for this video in both our Facebook group and in our YouTube comment section. So definitely go to get that full recipe. Go and support and watch this. I know I will definitely be making some after the show. It looks very simple, and I like simple.
Right. And for those of you who are listening or watching now, you got to go on over to that link and watch the rest of the video so you could see how to put everything together and know that you're putting it together the way Miss Ann suggests. And I'm going to be trying that this year. I've got my garlic in the garden. I'm going to get fresh garlic here on the farm this next year, and some of it will be designated for that cough syrup.
That's awesome. I can't wait to grow garlic. I'm so excited. I'm going to try again this year.
Well, we have our feral cats that come over from the next farm, Alexandra and Eliza, and they sleep on top of my garlic bed. And so I have to go out every once in a while and fluff everything up so they don't completely compress it down. But it's so cute to find these 2 little cats who are not ours, but block the driveway every night when Jim comes home because they want to be fed. They're like, "You're late. You're 3.5 minutes late. Where's my dinner?" And they're not even our cats. But so I named them Alexandra Hamilton and Eliza, and they're bringing us some joy. We love having them here.
I was about to say, I know where she got those names from, because that's another wonderful moment from 2023. It's Alicia's newfound obsession with Hamilton the musical.
Yeah, well, another cat showed up the other day. I named him Aaron Burr.
Oh my word.
Oh
my gosh.
Monica, what about you? What is your...
Five cats have shown up. They all have names from Hamilton.
I can't wait to see what musical or what historical number will bring us new names this year.
Mm-hmm.
It will happen. Something will be. It will be. I'm interested. Okay, so what is my favorite Andale moment? Did you just ask me that, Cayce?
I did. What's your Andale moment from
Okay,
the land of plenty?
So I think my favorite one, and I was kind of going through her videos last night, like looking, and honestly, I think I watched the video last night and I was looking at it, and it's called "It's Done, Time for a Change." And it was basically her changing over her garden season, moving into fall. And it was really cool because, and it's a longer video, but I'm just going to say that I really enjoy listening to Anne kind of explain some things. And I think my favorite part of it was, sorry, I'm still talking and you were trying to pull it up, but I wanted to say, she
No,
said to me,
I was just trying to pull it up again.
well, she said in the video at one point, and you won't probably hit on it because I don't know exactly where it was in the video, but she said, to her tomato plants, they were taking up real estate. And she said, these tomato plants are taking up valuable real estate here in my garden. And she said, I'm going to have to let them go. And she said, end quote, if it's not a healthy relationship, you're just going to have to let it go. And I was like, oh, Anne, you have spoken so profoundly and you're only in your garden right now.
Can we get an amen on that one?
I know, but it reminded me of just the different things that we go through and how our lives in the garden and the time that I spend in my garden is really a reflection of how the Lord's talking to me throughout the year. And I think that that's how Anne spent some time. And, it was fun to kind of see her in the garden. And for me, it's kind of like, okay, Lord, I know you speak to me in the garden and I know I'm not the only one, because Anne is saying so many like profound things and she's just pulling tomatoes. Okay. I mean, but it was a cool video. And she gives so much love in the end to her husband. And she says how much her husband poured into that garden. And she hoped that the fall garden would be more of hers because she was so busy over the summer. And then last year, sometimes she was busy with her family and with all the things. And she was just giving her husband all the praises. And it was really cool to just see that. And I was like, yeah, right on, Anne, right on. So yeah, my favorite video this year so far, or last year.
I know that's the resolution for all of us for this year, right? Is to remember to even say 2014.
2024.
Oh.
Look at her. I just love her.
Okay, everybody. Hello. This is Andale Homestead, and I'm so glad you're here. I'm Ann. Come along with me while we take a little tour of the land of plenty. We've still had plenty. We haven't had an abundance, but we have had plenty. And there's a whole lot going on, y'all. It's this transition from summer to winter. And in the meantime, the chicken girls, man, these girls, they're having a fit and falling in it. What are you guys fussing so much about? What are you talking about? Now they get quiet. Thelma and Louise, we all know you're the boss. You'll be all right. So what we're doing out here is we're trying to check on the garden. We're trying to get the garden better and to be able to do some maintenance. Y'all, I've been traveling a lot. I've been with the grandbabies a lot this summer. I have been at meetups this summer, which is wonderful. But I have been away from the land of plenty. And Worth has done an amazing job. Really. He's done a fabulous job. But, oftentimes it takes two. And so I wanted to get out here. Let's take a little tour. I've got some markers that I'm going to be doing today. He already planted some starts. I want to show you some of those that we got from our little local nursery and see what we can do about getting started in our fall garden planting. Really planting. So, all right, hang on. So the land of plenty has struggled a little bit this year. Our okra has done pretty good, fair. People say, oh, you're going to have so much okra, you're not going to know what to do with it. We didn't. I'm not sure what we're doing wrong with our okra, but we still have some. But I'm not sure what's going on with that. Ooh, let's focus. There we go. And we have our green beans. You guys, those were supposed to be bush beans. The whole bin said bush beans. But guess what? They're vining. So we put up a little
Okay, can I just tell you, I just love Miss Ann so much in this video too, because she like makes you feel like you're literally her best friend and she's FaceTiming you, showing her your
Right.
yard. Like
I was just
Mhm.
about to say that.
right? It's like she was like, "Oh my gosh, Monica, let me show you my garden." And she grabs her phone and she's FaceTiming me personally. And then she like touches the camera, like you focus it in. She's like, "Hold on. Okay, we're going now. Let's go." And it just feels so real and so much like she's just talking to me. So she wasn't talking to any of y'all, just so you know, just me. She was just
just
showing me
just
Oh,
the
Monica. Can we also say how tall is Miss Andale? Because those are some ginormous tall okra plants. Now listen, mine came up to my shoulder this year and I'm 5'9". So maybe that's what they were. Maybe in our meetings we'll have to ask Miss Andale how
you
tall
think
she is.
you think Miss Andale's like 5'5", 5'7"? You
No,
think
I'm
she's
thinking like
down here?
5'2".
5'2", yeah, yeah, yeah. She's probably a little petite,
You know
little
what's
petite.
funny is when you watch people on YouTube, friends included, until you meet them in person, you don't really know their height. And I think that was definitely one that I was surprised because I both think of both of you as a lot taller than you are.
oh
When I
no.
met you in person, I
I'm
was like, oh
5'3" and
no,
a
they're
half.
actually
I mean, I got the
yes.
half going.
When you're 5'3", you have to throw that half in there because it counts.
Well, I used to be
It
5'4" when
does
I was
count.
younger, and
I,
somehow
I
I've
used to be
shrunken.
5'3", now I'm 5'2".
See, we're both going down.
We're shrinking.
And I knew that Eric was tall because you can tell by the pictures.
Yeah.
But I was like, well, I mean, if you look at it, you're like, Eric must be like 6'9" or something. But
No, I'm just
him's not.
really short. He's 6'1". It's funny because I think Jesse from Lazy Days, I think when we met them, it was either him or Scott when we met him in May last year. They both said, or one of them said, "Wow, Eric, I thought you were going to be taller." And I'm like, "Nope, it's just me. Hi, I'm Monica and I'm 5'3.5".
Put that
I'm
on
the
a
short
sheet.
one.
I'm just short, thanks. But yeah, I think I make him look taller because I'm so short.
Yes.
So, but yeah, he's 6'1". So yeah, sometimes you think people are a little taller. That's true, Casey. Good pointing that out. You don't know how tall people are until you
Until you meet him in
yeah.
person. And then like
Yep.
I felt really tall and I'm 5'9".
Well,
I felt very
I think
tall.
that I think that this year when we come through and see you again, you're gonna feel not as tall anymore because I think both my teenage boys are now about
Yeah,
5.
they were crouching up on me
Yeah, I
the
think they're
year and a
like
half ago.
5'8", 5'9", both of them are. And I'm like looking at them going, "Oh my gosh, are you seriously only like 15 and 13 and you're like 5'9"
I'm trying to tell you.
So yeah, Casey, you're gonna be eye to eye with my teenagers this year.
The story of my life. All of the girls in my youth group are the same height as me. I'm like, how are teenagers so tall nowadays? It was
Yeah,
not like this when I was in school.
it's
Back
in the
in my
water.
day,
It's in the water. Okay, so
I
what
guess
was your
so.
favorite Andale moment?
Let me tell you, I have so many favorite Andale moments. I decided to kind of drift off of YouTube and go into Instagram for mine
Oh.
because one thing that I thought was amazing this year, and it's funny because me and Monica talked about this on a phone call when it happened, but this year, Ann Dale coined a phrase that got her a lot of views, a lot of subscribers, and the nice little name of Pyro Granny. And that was Be Ready. She started it this year.
Mhm.
And the first one was, I think it was, I didn't look at the exact name because all I know, or the exact number of views, I think it was over 30,000 was this first short. But she's racked in over 600,000 views on Be Ready, over
Wow.
Oh my god.
160,000 followers. Okay. And she's still humble, sweet Miss Ann, even though she's turned into our little celebrity friend.
She is.
And this first one was a candle that or it was a like a what's the one you put under a sterno light kind of thing.
Uh-huh.
And I just loved it, her being ready, because as y'all know, I tried to do my best Andale impersonation on our promo when she joined, and it was not as good as Andale's. But this is the short that basically I just wanted to make sure that I was ready.
You're cold, your electricity is off. I can help you make a heater out of 10 cans. You get a can, a smaller can, insulate the round with dirt. Make sure that you put some cotton balls inside. We all have those. Add a little alcohol, 70% on top. Yep, doesn't take much. Then you light it and you have your heater. I just want you to be ready.
Let me just say that I would say it at the end of all of her videos. When she would say it, I don't know if y'all did when you were watching the videos. At the end of her videos, I would say it with her. I just want you to be ready.
Yes.
I mean, it was ingenious how she did it. And I mean, she overnight went kind of viral. And I remember calling you, Monica, and being like, did you see Andale's Instagram page? And like she's over 100,000 subscribers now.
Oh,
And of
wow.
course, with the ton of subscribers, you are going to get the mean comments. And I did see one comment that was right there that says, "Be ready to call the fire department." Girl, bye. Stop leaving some crazy comments on Ms. Andale's. If you're going to leave some crazy mean comments, you come over to Ormsby Farm, baby. I'll take care of you real fast.
Oh my gosh.
But I just think it's a
mean,
great video.
I think the mean comments are great because you know what? They're the ones that make sure you make it's like you're like, I have a troll. Yes, I have a mean person. I'm so famous.
I've
There's a
made
mean
it. I've
person.
made it.
Yep, that's it right there.
You know, I always talk about my kind of aha moment of having a troll leave a comment. And this was back when our family was doing our reality show. And I will never forget this comment, that it said, "Congratulations, Cayce, for proving that black is not always slimming."
Oh my word.
Ouch.
What is
But
wrong
I
with
was about to say
people?
it was actually really good. I had to write it down to use it for later because it actually was very witty. It didn't bother me at all. Hey, I'm fat. I'm okay.
Oh my gosh.
I have to work really hard when I get a troll comment to just kill them with kindness.
Yes.
And I've had a couple instances of that lately. It's just like, don't respond the way they want you to. Just kill them with kindness and move on. And so that's what I'm doing my best to do.
It is. And also, you know, we have all learned over our social media career that sometimes you just gotta not look at the comments. Just you gotta like it and thumbs it up to get the algorithms going. But for the mean ones, if it starts off in the first 3 words of being mean, I'm like, okay, heart gone. I'm not even reading it anymore. What about y'all? Do y'all actually read all of the comments, even the mean ones?
Oh, I do.
I do.
I'm just not taking them to heart as much as I used to. Like I said, I'm trying to flip the switch and just kill them with kindness. I remember my very first troll. I was reaching out to other YouTubers saying, I need you to help defend me on this. This person's trying to rip me up and I'm trying to justify something. And the more I tried to justify it, the more I was playing into their game.
Yep.
And I finally just had to give up. And then I just blocked them and I didn't have to worry about them anymore.
Well, and we always say we thank you for your views, trolls. We thank you for your views. And because I'm going to move on to our next host. So I'm going to talk about my one for Monica because it kind of ties into the views and going viral. My choice for Monica. Monica, are you ready for this?
Oh my gosh, I'm ready.
So I jokingly say that this one that I chose of Monica was the clink heard around the world.
Oh my word.
And this one went like stupid viral on 1.5 million views.
Yep.
And I know for a fact, because we've talked about it, that you had gotten some interesting comments from people on there. But mine is your canning lid, like how to tell if a canning lid is bad. A fail. So here we go. This is mine. The clink heard across the world.
Now, to the naked eye, these 2 jars of taco meat look exactly the same. But you and I both know, we just heard that they're very different. This jar right here has a pop seal, and this jar does not. The reason why I know is because it sounds different. But if I had kept the rings on them when I stored them, this seal would have never popped on its own. So, my tip to you, store your jars without the rings. Don't forget, it's super important, guys. Hey, who likes safe canning practices in the pantry? Farmers' wives do.
And I actually had a clink moment the other day with some of the Fiesta beans that I made. And I thought of Monica right away. And I took my little spoon and I went tink, 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 donk, donk. I knew.
You know how many people have said, yeah, you probably popped the seal with the clinking of it. If you would stop clinking your jars. I'm like, oh my gosh, okay.
I still clink my jars. I always clink my jars. Maybe like once a month I go through and just, I think it's a safe canning practice to do, is to go around and check your food in your pantry to make sure that you're not trying to like slowly kill your family by eating stuff that needs to be taken care of.
You're just clinking them. It's not like you're going through with jackhammer strength and bonking them. You're clinking them. There's a difference between a good clink and a good bonk.
I think the best part is the fact that, like, literally those jars I set up just for that shot. Those jars were actually in the very top shelf, like in a box, kind of in the back. So I was kind of going through because my kids had said, Mom, the schoolroom stinks. It is nasty in here. Something is rotten this way. And I'm like, well, it's not the teenage boys, so it must be something. And so, yeah, I started kind of tapping because I'm short and I can only do so much on a step stool. And so I started just reaching back and clink, clink, clinking. And that's when I found it. But, of course, for the video, Eric's like, well, pull them forward, make a pretty line of them, and then you can clink them out here and show people what you did. So for the video, we lined them up. And so people were like, it's obvious. And the best part is you just said with the naked eye. And people were like, your eyes must be not naked. You must have fully clothed eyes. And I mean, some of the comments were,
I did read some of the comments, and it is kind of funny to go and read them and be like, wow, you are such a
lovely troll. Thank you for watching my video.
Some people
that's the exact word I was looking for.
They are just bold. How about that? They are just bold people.
Yes.
But Alicia, yours, before we pull it up, I just want to say I'm so glad that Alicia picked this video, because a lot of time YouTubers and social media people will only show the good and kind of sugarcoat their life on social media and make sure that the lighting's perfect and that their face looks perfect and that everything is perfect around them. And the realest channels that I love are the ones that can get down and dirty and truly show you the good, the bad, the sad, and the ugly. So Alicia, you want to talk about yours for Monica?
Yeah, when all of us here on this show, we have a side friendship, lifelong, but it's the show, the podcast, the Facebook group that we have for beginning homesteaders. That is a big focus for all of us. And you're right. So many times there are people out there that turn to social media and they see the Instagram perfect. They see the staged perfect, and they come into homesteading thinking things are just going to be rosy and perfect. And then they are just absolutely sidelined and blindsided when reality hits. And, I have to say, the most memorable moment for 2023 for Monica and her family was a heartbreaking moment. And I know it's I don't even know how to say this. I love it because it's real, and Monica is real in this. And this is what people need to see. They need to see the reality that sometimes things don't always go the way we want on a homestead, and we have to make tough decisions. And I think that's why I love it so much, because she shares her vulnerability in homesteading, and it gives her this personalization that people can just relate to. and see that something bad happened on their farm and this is going to happen and you have to be prepared for it. And the way she handled it was so real and so heartwarming and yet heart-wrenching. And I applaud her and thank her and love her for showing that vulnerability and showing what's really real, because too many times we are just so focused on the fake Instagram perfect farm life. And that's what everybody strives for. And they don't realize just how tough it really is. So with all respect to Monica and her family, this is my most memorable from Bland's Promised Land Ranch for 2023. And I say that with love.
I'm having a really hard time with this. I'm trying not to be like all mopey and sad for the kids, but okay. I'm gonna come in here for a second in the garage where it's a mess, but I'm really having a hard time with this because Clementine is like one of the nicest cows. So I don't want to put my hands on my face, but she's like a baby. We've had her for about 5 years now. And 5 years has been 5 years we've had her. And it's just, she's like one of the nicest cows. She's a sweetheart. And we've never kept her because she's the body style we want. We've never kept her because she's the best breeder. We have kept Clementine because she's like a therapy animal. She's the girl that when you take the cubes out, she comes running over because she knows that she's going to get some. She's the girl that when you want someone to come in and cut the grass down for you, you can let her in here because she's the sweetest. And if she gets into the garden, I can scream at her and yell at her and smack her on the hiney and she'll run right out. She is just a good, very good girl. And as much as I want her to live, I'm wondering if we need to be done. If we need to make the decision that for us and for her, this needs to be it for her. She has given us 2 beautiful calves, a little girl that we sold, and a little boy, Roger, who was the sweetest little guy. And he's nice like his mama, but he's going to be, slated for a grow out in a couple years. She's been a friend. And maybe it's not her time to go. And maybe you'll never see this because maybe we don't end up processing her. But if we have to process her, I just want people to know that ranchers, farmers, animals, people that raise animals, we care about them. We care a lot. And we never want to see them injured. And it's not about our bottom dollar. It's not about our pocketbooks. It's about using the things, raising the animals that God has given us, and being good stewards over them.
All the feels.
That is
but
like
it's reality.
That is the hardest to watch ever. Like it is.
I'm sitting here crying, but it's the reality. It's what people just don't understand, and it's such a service to those who are looking to get into this lifestyle, that this is something, whether they raise livestock for their freezers or not. They may go in knowing I'm going to have to process this animal. Clementine was a little bit of a different story, and they have to realize they're going to be presented with times like that where they have to make these difficult decisions, and they're not easy ones to make, and they'll stick with you. It really was a heart-wrenching, heartwarming moment for me because I felt so connected to your family, even though we're hundreds of miles away.
Well, I think that resonated with a lot of people too, which is one of the reasons why I did that. I was waiting for Eric to come home, and my daughter was standing there and she was out with Clementine at the barn at first. And she looked at me, she's like, "You're making a video?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I am actually, because this is important. And even if no one sees this, I want this for me. I
Mhm.
need to have this for me. Not that I need to
Right.
document my whole life, but that I need to know and I need to remind myself how important it is to stay connected to all of the animals that we raise and to be as raw as I can, because if you don't live your life with that connection, then it's just hard sometimes. Because I mean, look, I just took our bull to the processor 3 weeks ago and I watched him walk out of the trailer and I was like, you did a great job for us. Thank you, buddy. I love you. And we got in the truck and I was a little teary eyed. And Eric looked at me. He's like, are you good? I'm like, I'm good. This was a decision we had to make. It was his time. It was time. But I think that was the hardest part for me with Clementine. It would have been easier for me to have her walk out of a trailer to go to another location or to go for processing than for us to have to deal with that decision ourselves.
Right.
And so I think that was the bet. And exactly that John said, it's hard, but they get to be a blessing. And even just the other day, it made me feel really proud when I was pulling meat out of my freezer and I knew where that came from because I processed it myself and I was able to give her the utmost respect from her life all the way into, my family. So, yeah.
Right. And the unfortunate thing is it was an untimely thing.
Yes. It
And
was a
you were
surprise.
forced into that decision.
Yes, for sure.
And again, like I said, people who are getting into homesteading, I mean, even if it's something as simple as a chicken, you are going to have those moments where you have to make those decisions and you have to be prepared for it. And you did such a service there. And, here on our farm, we don't raise anything for consumption, but we've had to put our animals down if there's an injury or an illness, and it's gut wrenching. It really is.
It
But
is.
it's a necessary part of living on a ranch or a farm or homesteading if you're going to have animals. And so that was a great service. So, all right, what do we got next? Let's get the gloom and doom out of there. But people need to know this and they need to watch the rest of the video.
I have one too. So here's mine. So I think when it comes to Alicia was talking about knowing people and we knew each other. We know each other. We may not live right next to each other, but we know each other. And last year when Alicia started her health journey, her new health journey to kind of reclaim, I feel like she's reclaiming her life back, reclaiming a huge part. And I think that last year was really difficult for Alicia in the beginning of the year. I know there was so much going on, and I know that we all kind of went through things in different timing, but I feel like Alicia, we watched her go through a lot of things. At least Cayce and I did. We watched her deal with loss, last year. And at the end of the year, it was like, she was like, you know what? I'm pulling my big girl panties up. And I can say that because I have them too. I'm going to pull my big girl panties up and I'm going to get myself going and I'm going to get my life back. And for a lot of people, getting your life back means really finding yourself to get healthy again, to get yourself back where you feel comfortable in your skin. And I absolutely loved this video from Alicia. And she did it just, this video she actually put out in just only 3 or 4 weeks ago, back in October, though. She did this first challenge. So she started her weight loss journey in October, but this video came out in November. And I'm going to tell you that I'm like, I love this. So I kind of watch Alicia and then I kind of watch her on the side in other socials. But I will tell you that not only did she do this 100 miles just in October, it was actually like 109, by the way. And the coolest part is she has this, it's called Metal Mad app. And I saw that she posted this back in November 10th, when she posted this. I saw this video originally and I was like, oh my goodness, that's really awesome. So the first week of December, I jumped onto Metal Mad app and I started to do my own challenge. And she doesn't know that. And I was super excited when I went back and I was like, this is definitely going to be my favorite video because she encourages me, but she also inspired me to join that app and to start doing my own challenge. And so I've been doing my own challenge as well, so I can get my own medal. I'm doing it like a Disney princess one and I'm super excited.
Oh, fun.
And so I am excited because I'm seeing her excitement. And so this video really got me excited. And I just wanted to share because your journey that you've been taking so far, and it's not just walking, but this one in particular, I thought was awesome because who doesn't love tangible gifts? I'm what they call a carrot chaser, and the medals are my carrots. And so I am going to get my carrots this year. And I appreciate you for putting that up. So go ahead, Cayce. Now you can do it. I see you going for it.
Salutations and welcome back to the channel. Today I am at the local park where 3 months ago to the day I started a self-imposed walking challenge. I walked every day in September, did not miss a day, and I walked a total of 109 miles. For October, I changed things up a bit and I did a HIIT routine every day, and I made sure that my step count was always at 6,000 for the day minimum. For November, I started my 75-day soft challenge. So I've been working out at the gym. I've been walking. I've been doing all kinds of things to really lose some weight. I'm hoping that you can see the evidence. I'll try to pop a picture right here to show you my face when I first started this 4 months ago on August 1st. But one thing that I wanted to do to really keep me involved and inspired while I was doing these challenges was I went online and I joined a virtual walking challenge. And I'm so excited to say the medal showed up in the mail. I want to share that with you. Here it is. I joined the 100-mile wood challenge. So I walked 100 miles to earn this medal. I would keep track of my walking on my Fitbit and I would submit screenshots to the company. They're actually from the United Kingdom. And so they put this little virtual race on. I would report every time I would take a walk. And what I really liked about this one is who doesn't love Winnie the Pooh? But I love that you get this quality, this really great medal. And for every 25 miles, ooh, that was loud. Every 25 miles, you earned a little pin to put on your medal. Look at that. There's Eeyore. He was my first 25 miles. And then I think the owl, let me find Owl. Owl was the next 25 miles that I accomplished. Then we have Kanga and little baby Roo. That was my next 25 miles. And then the very last 25 miles that I completed for my 100-mile challenge is Rabbit. And there he is there. So I get to put all of the pins on my medal. And I'll get to hang this in my craft room or my home office, wherever I want. And I can remember just how hard I worked to get this 100 miles. Now, this is not the first walking challenge, the virtual walking challenge that I ever did. If you want to do this one, let me back up a little bit here. If you'd like to do this one, I got this through the company called Medal Mad, MEDALMAD. So you can look up Medal Mad. I'm afraid I don't have any discount codes for you. They're not sponsoring me, but this is where you would find this one. You will find that the monetary pricing is in pounds, but they will convert that for you. I had no problem with my payment. I had no problem with the shipping. It arrived beautifully packed, and it actually came with a nice letter of congratulations. I really love that. Now, prior to this, a couple years ago, I had done some through. Oh, you're going to have to watch it to find out what other ones I did. I will say I've finished a second one. I'm in the middle of a third one, and I'm going to start a fourth one, Monica, because I've joined the wellness center here where I live, and they have a rowing machine. And, you know, there are some of those challenges that I like that are maybe just a 5K or a 10K. And it's like, I can walk 3 or 6 miles a day now, where when I started this, when you saw that before picture, I walked a half a mile and my friend who walked with me thought I was going to have a heart attack. I can easily walk a 5 or 10K now. So I don't want to have the challenge be something I can finish in one day.
Yes.
But there are a couple of 5Ks or 10Ks that really have my attention. And I'm going to do those on the rowing machine.
Oh.
So I will keep track of the distances that I row and turn those in and get those. So there are a lot of different ways you can look at it. So I'm glad that inspired you. I'm excited to see what medal you're working towards.
Yes.
Well, we're just so excited that because when you first told us about this journey that you were going on, this lifestyle change, you went full force in. I don't think a lot of people really understand how full force you went in, because we would get into shooting and Alicia would be like, okay, well, we got to stay on track because I'm going to walk today. Yeah. Like, I'm
Mhm.
so proud of you, friend. You truly
Thank you.
stuck with it, and you look fabulous. Go
Thank
check
you.
out the social media
Mhm.
to see because you have a video on your before and after
Mhm.
in a tank top. And I'm just so proud of, because I mean, of course, my big butt needs to probably go on one of those lifestyle changes too. So I'm proud of you.
Thank
And
you.
my favorite Alicia moment. Now let me do some little backstory on this, okay? So for those that have not watched us and listened to us for the 4 seasons that we've been on, Alicia is the host that loves to challenge all of us to eat crazy stuff.
Uh-huh.
And when I say crazy, I mean like stuff that, like me and Monica, when she first challenged us to do cinnamon roll and chili, we were both like, Alicia has lost her mind. Like,
Yes.
ain't no way that I'm
Yes.
going to waste a good cinnamon roll and pour some chili on it. But I did it, and I actually enjoyed it. It was not terrible. And I did a video on it. But this is a newer moment on Alicia's Facebook page that she posted about that literally had me laughing out loud for 3 days straight. And it is because the item that she is trying, to other people would be like, wait, you were skeptical about trying this, but you eat chili and cinnamon rolls. So, and that is when Alicia tried guacamole.
I can't help it. I have for years called guacamole, I call it guacacaca, or I call it yucky moly. And I really do think, for those of you who know me, and we've talked about it on the show before, I have certain childhood traumas, and one of them is zucchini. The other one is avocados. And I think my father must have tried to feed me some avocado when I was very, very young, maybe like 8 is what I want to say. And there was something textural about it, or something that just threw me off. And I have not even allowed it. I don't let it touch my food. If we go out to eat at a restaurant and there's guacacaca on my plate, I have a fit. I don't like it. And we had gone out to eat at this Mexican restaurant on a recent trip, and I told him to try something new, expand your horizons a little bit there. And he told me the same thing when he offered me the guacamole. I said, oh, no, I'm good. He says, expand your horizons. We're on a trip. Try something new.
Now, the question is, though, did you enjoy it?
I tolerated it.
You tolerated it.
I ate it.
Out of 1 from 10, what would you give it?
I'll just give it right down the middle 5. I did not like it.
Okay,
I didn't dislike it.
But was it? I think was it freshly made though?
Yes.
Okay,
It
so
was.
that makes a difference too. So
Yes.
my stepfather, he made guacamole yesterday, and like it was literally a thing. Like everybody was crowded around. They were waiting for him. They were waiting for him to add the what he calls the secret ingredient or the best ingredient, special ingredient. Like you got to have it tried a couple different ways. Because I will say that you can buy some guacamole from Costco and it's going to be pretty good, but sometimes a homemade version is different. And
Right.
like I can tell you that I know I have a kid that probably would put down a pound of the store bought, but I don't know if they're going to eat the homemade stuff because it's a little chunkier, it's a little more fresh, if you will, and sometimes it doesn't have as much seasoning. So
Right. No, this was right there. This was made in an authentic Mexican restaurant that we happened upon. The family was from Mexico City. Really nice family, in just this tiny little hole in the wall greasy spoon and it was just authentic Mexican food. My thing is, it's a textural thing for me. I have certain textures that just don't. I'm neurodivergent, so I just kind of like don't like certain textures. The taste was fine. It's the texture. Would I intentionally eat it again? No. But I'm not going to freak out and act like a 3-year-old when it shows up on my plate either.
Now,
Be like, "Here you
Alicia,
go,
can I
honey."
challenge you to try avocado toast? That's a bougie kind of breakfast thing here
I know
in
it's a
the
bougie
Georgia.
thing, but I just don't know with the texture. I mean, everybody loves lobster. I don't care for seafood. And Papa Jim, one time when we were out at a restaurant, he said, if you love me, I mean, that's the right. I mean, that's not fair. If you love me, you'll try the lobster. I tried the lobster. I swallowed the lobster. I didn't vomit. Will I eat it again? No, it was a textural thing. I didn't like the texture of the lobster. I was so focused on the texture, I don't even remember what it tasted like. And so that's the way it is for me with guacamole as well, or avocado, anything. It's a textural, it's a mind blip that at least I got over it on that trip. Will I try avocado toast? I mean, probably not intentionally. That's a waste of a good avocado, in my opinion.
So I
That's just me.
basically have to challenge her in a video.
Uh-oh.
Just
I
saying.
don't know.
I feel like she can't refuse a good challenge either.
As Monica said, I'm a carrot chaser.
You're a
What do I
carrot
get?
chaser.
What do
That's
I
the
get?
thing.
What do
Yep.
I get? What's my carrot?
The glory of saying you did it.
An air hug.
Oh, I do like the air hugs.
Okay, so talking about, just friendships in general. Alicia, do you have any favorite Cayce moments?
I
Oh,
do.
Lord.
The
We're
one
coming
I
up
thought
to
of,
it. We're coming up, so we got to get our 2 favorite Cayce moments in here
we got to
before
get
we
those in
close.
there. I love that Cayce has become so enthused about his meals in a jar. It's something that he and I discussed early on. And he's like, friend, you've got to show me how to do this. We did a video together for a collaboration. And I taught him all he needed to know about putting these meals in a jar together. And he did one this last year of his hamburger mac and cheese. And he cooks it up. He eats it. It's yummy. I love that he's so enthused about the meals in a jar because it really is a great addition to your pantry. And I love that he's so happy about it. Roll the
Hey
tape.
everyone, welcome back to Ormsby Farm. My name is Cayce. So, on today's video, I am joining in on Noodle November 2023 that is hosted by Tony over at Kettle Kitchen. And I first off want to say thank you, Tony, for inviting me. I always love these Noodle November collabs. I did it last year, but this year, what I'm doing is more of a shelf stable. It's kind of like my new Fang this year. And it is a meal in a jar that is shelf stable, and I'm going to show you how to make it, vacuum seal it, and then rehydrate. So this can be put on your shelves for up to 10 years, y'all. I know. And there are so many amazing channels, and some of my very dear friends that are joining in. Like you got Sandy over at Suburban. Okay, Cayce, that's all fun and great, but what are you making? Well, I am making a hamburger macaroni and cheese. That will be shelf stable. I'm going to show you how to vacuum seal it, how to make it, and how to rehydrate it. So enough of me blah, 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 and let's go ahead and get into the intro. It's on storefront because all of this is in the description box along with
I'm coming. Cayce just all over the place.
Trying to get through the intro. Y'all know I got a long
worry,
intro.
I'm going to leave the recipe down in the description box, along with all of the things that I'm using in our Amazon storefront. Because all of this comes from Amazon. It's a great thing to stock up in your pantry, so you have it. So let's get started. One thing that I like to do is I always like to put the powdered ingredients down at the bottom and noodles on the top. So when I vacuum seal it, it's not sucking up that powder and prohibiting the seal from sealing. Doing it in a quart jar, but you can.
Okay, I heard on a recent post I was reading that when you have those vacuum sealed jars like that and you have powder in there, somebody said you can take a coffee filter, put it over the top of your food stuff in there, and that way it won't suck it into your vacuum sealer.
Huh.
Yeah. I was like, what? I don't know about this.
I may have to try that one.
I know, but I don't know if you leave the coffee filter like on the outside or if you just kind of like put it on top in the jar on top of your things. I think that's what they maybe meant. Like you just put it on the top layer, but still that would kind of work. And then, I mean, coffee filter is just a piece, just a little filter. It's not like, it's going to take up that much time or space, or it's not that expensive either. So it might be worth doing, especially when it doesn't clog up your machine. So anyway, I thought that was cool. I was like, oh, that would have been perfect for that because Cayce just mentioned it.
Well, I used to put my stuff on the top. Now I put it on the bottom. And since I've moved it to the bottom, I don't have any problems.
Yeah, same here.
Well, I think our favorite is that part of when he starts shaking that stuff to the bottom because one of the videos he does, I don't know if it's that one or the mac and cheese one, but we were watching that. My son and I, my youngest, Ezekiel, and he says, what did you say, Cayce? I think you said, shake it.
Jiggle,
shake it,
jiggle.
It's got that jiggle,
that's
jiggle.
right. jiggle, 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 jiggle. And so when he said it a couple times. And I like look over in the car and my son, we were just sitting there in the parking lot and Ezekiel's going, wiggle, wiggle, give it a little jiggle, jiggle. And he's like shaking his little booty. I laughed so hard. I was like, all right, you got to do that again. We're going to send this to Mr. Cayce of you standing over there being goofy. So we totally sent it to Cayce and we were like, hey, we're listening to your video, watching you jiggle, jiggle it down. So.
Well, no,
Okay.
Alicia actually told me that in the video that I learned how to vacuum seal stuff. She was like, no, Cayce, you give it a little jiggle, jiggle. And ever since then, I have to, in my head, I'm like, all right, you got to jiggle, jiggle the jar. So yeah, jiggle, jiggle.
Yeah. Well, I love that part. Okay. So I guess it's me giving Cayce's my favorite thing from Cayce last year. My favorite moment from Cayce last year was because it was like building all the way up to it. And it was so important for him to get his chickens. And when he got his flock and he got his 12 baby chicks, it just really made me smile. And he is in the brooder, like throwing around all the stuff and putting the chicks in there. And it was the cutest thing watching him set it all up. And I love it because I know how important these baby chicks were. So roll that beautiful bean footage, Cayce.
All righty, y'all. Hey, y'all. Welcome back to Ormsby Farm. It's Cayce. So, picking up the chicks. But first, we are needing to set up their brooder. I would have gone live tonight, hopefully, to show the baby chicks. If I didn't, I will leave the brooder and all that we get in the description box below. So let's go ahead and put this together and go pick up the chicks.
I'm coming home.
They're Braid. Hey, Braid.
I don't really know what I'm doing.
You're doing fine. But don't put it all in there because we'll need some for replacement.
We got 2 more bags in there.
Yeah, but if we can use some of that, would be nice.
This is what, half a bag in?
Well, you may have to use all bags, I guess, as long as we have other bags. Okay, yeah. You want a broom? You want the broom to kind of swish it around?
So I see why Monica said to use the tarp because this shit messy.
Shiitake mushrooms. Shiitake mushrooms on a pizza are messy. Shiitake mushrooms.
Oh my
God. Leave it to me. Leave it to me.
I was trying to warn you. I was like, hey, P.S. right after you reference my name, you're like, P.S. Monica's the one that gives him the hardest time about saying stuff. And yet it's going to be right there in my video that I love.
But you know, if I didn't say it in one of my videos, it's not a real video.
But you know what? It was so cute though, because I'm so glad. Like I was so glad to see that tarp down because I was like, if he doesn't put that tarp down, he's gonna have such a mess. But I think my favorite part was when you actually had texted us later and you were like, "Hi, the babies are getting out. What am I gonna do?" And then you're putting cardboard on the side, and I'm like, "Oh my gosh!" So I was just thinking, you know, next time I know you're going to be smart enough to do like I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 inches of.
We're actually getting a shed. We're getting a shed.
See, but you can't use that again. That would work. You just need to get like 3 or 4 inches of the chicken wire and just attach it to the bottom. It'll totally work still. Yeah,
they're just not in my house because they smell too much.
Well, they could go outside and have fresh air time. That can be their baby time outside. But yeah,
their baby time. Yeah, it will. I'll be videoing new chicks this year, but they ain't going in my laundry room no more.
Yeah, it is a little stinky. It can get a little stinky.
A lot.
Well, we're just about that time. And of course, before we sign out of our last live show of our first season here doing this, we just want to say thank you to everybody who's tuned in, like Facebook, YouTube, all of it. We're so excited and we're so thankful that we could do this all season and all year. And, it's really kind of like bittersweet being like, okay, we're taking a break for a little bit. But yeah, I've been excited this whole season. It's been so fun.
It has. And, it seems like it flies by. We have our meetings where we put everything together and it feels like, oh, this is going to take forever. And then before we know it, it's done. And it is a little bit bittersweet. But we hope that you've enjoyed this last season of not only Round the Hay Bale, but Hey Y'all Hey. And as Monica mentioned, we're going to be taking a little bit of a break so that we can regroup and put everything together for season 5. And speaking of season 5, I do believe Cayce has a little bit of announcement. I'm going to throw it back to him. Oh, hey, yeah. Before Cayce gets this next little bit of info here, we're going to have Hey Y'all Hey on replay until March 5th. So if you've missed one of our shows, you can go back and listen to it. Oh, gee, I said shows. You can tell I've been up north, like up in Minnesota or something.
Yeah, the shows.
Oh,
Yeah, we're going to have those replay shows.
You betcha.
But we also want your help. So during this time, Round the Hay Bale and the Hey Y'all Hey morning show, we are going to start looking for a producer. We've gotten enough episodes and stuff out there that it's time that we join somebody on our little team. So if you want to join our little family here at Hey Y'all Hey, there's an email that I've put up on the screen, and I'm actually going to make it where it doesn't scroll across so you actually can see it. And there we go.
Okay, so
there we go.
Yeah, so Cayce said, we want a producer. We're looking for someone. But here's the thing. Why do you even want to join our family? Well, because you're going to get all the benefits that we get as hosts, like free products, discount codes, all the things that we get as hosts right here at roundthehaybale@gmail.com. But once you email us, we can explain that more. But I will say that we get a lot of little perks, and that's exciting. And any of the perks we get, you can get too as our producer. And we really are interested in someone. We definitely need some extra help here, and we would appreciate it. So if you know someone, send them our way. Or if you're interested, definitely let us know. We want you.
I can see Monica just pointing her finger. We want you.
Yes, we want you.
Yes.
And you don't have to, it's a behind the scenes type of a thing where you're supporting, if you're nervous about, speaking in front of people or having your face in front of people, that's not it. You're going to be the glue that holds us all together, and you're supporting the team and you're part of the team. That's what it is. We need a producer.
Yep.
So having said that, if you think of anybody that would like to join us in that capacity, make sure you check out that email and get in touch with us. But that wraps it up. We're actually over time on today's episode because we had so many fun memories to look back on for 2023. And we're glad that you were here with us. We will see you when we start fresh. Now, remember, they're going to be rolling out some of the repeats until March 5th, but for season 5 of Round the Hay Bale, and then to pick up fresh with Hey Y'all Hey, we will see you in March. Until then, we want you to have a blessed 2024. Say goodbye to 2023, close that chapter, and start fresh with 2024. And we want you to have just a wonderful time taking care of yourself and those around you. And we will see you next time here on Hey Y'all Hey.
Hey, Monica, did you know it's now even easier to listen to Round the Hay Bale podcast?
What? Really? How easy?
That's right. All you have to do is say, Alexa, play Round the Hay Bale podcast.
Playing Round the Hay Bale podcast on Apple Music.
Oh, we're really fancy now.
Tune in to Round the Hay Bale every Monday at 9 a.m. Central.